This week, an electric car. It's from Audi and it's the 55 Q8 e-tron Quattro. But I'm going to start off with the price. $153,900. This does have the glass sunroof for an extra $3,400. I think this is a smart looking thing. Not fussed on this grey, I just am not particularly fussed on grey, period. But this has got all the latest Audi technology, the latest drive rays, the latest headlight technology, the latest safety stuff. It really is something that is going to go forward into the future, and with all electric cars, the only reason you'd need to change cars is if you want another car, because the bits that wear out, the mechanical bits, don't exist. It's got a lithium-ion battery that is 114 kilowatt hours. Now you'd think that would give you an enormous range, but I haven't been able to get this much below 23 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So I'm still getting maybe 430 odd kilometers, which is not great for a car this size. Then we come to the power. 300 kilowatts and 664 newton meters. Now that is a lot, and it does feel quite brisk, although the 0 to 100 is a reasonably modest 5.6 seconds. The wheels, they're 20-inch, and if you just press the button here, it opens one of the charge ports. This is the heavy-duty charge port. There is another one on the other side that is for AC only. But this one, it's got a little flick out bit there so that you can plug in the fast charger. Just undo this. As with all electric cars, there's not a lot to see under the bonnet, but this has got just enough room for all of the charging cables, and you can see you've got a couple of options in there. Other than that, there is nothing to see here. Ooh, it's really hot. Most SUVs have that square, boxy look at the back, but you'll notice now that there's a lot of coupe style SUVs coming onto the market, and this is kind of in between. It's got a much more sloped back and a svelte look. All of the locks are electric, so you just give it a very gentle pull and it comes away really easily. If you go really, really hard, you can feel that the lock hasn't unlocked yet and released the door. The legroom is not bad considering that this is set for me to drive, and there's plenty of room under the seat in front. You'll notice overhead there's the sunroof. There's some vents but no third row of climate control. A little place for phones and odds and sods, and then down the bottom a 12-volt socket and a couple of USB-Cs. Like all station wagons and SUVs, the seats can fold down flat, but the luggage area still isn't particularly big, because when you come around the back and open it up, you'll notice a not particularly huge area. A couple of places here to lower the seats from the back position, but most surprisingly is a spare tyre. One of those tricky airless ones. One thing I do like is that it's got the close or the close and lock button, so that you don't have to schlep around the side of the car when you're doing your shopping. Also, if the car is locked, you can program it not to unlock all the doors when you open the back door. I've got a head-up display, the traditional Audi digital driver display, and this lovely wide screen here for the infotainment system. But down below I've got another touch screen for the climate control and so forth. Below that are the drive modes, the parking system, the safety system, and there's this billet of aluminium here too as the gear shifter that's on this little rest so that you can rest your wrist on it. Forward goes backwards and backwards goes forwards. So just like you would in a traditional gear shifter. The drive select also toughens up the suspension. And acceleration is nice and leisurely. I've got it in comfort mode, and I'm going to leave it in comfort mode for the duration of the test because I want to show you how capable this is without having to bother with sports mode, which makes the acceleration even snappier. There's power seats with 2 memories. The thing that I like most is these touch screens that emit the littlest noise, just this faint little clunk. And if you've got it turned on, there's haptic feedback as well. There's a couple of complex menus. When people get into these cars, they think how difficult they are to use. There's no seat cooling on this car, only seat heating, which is very strange for that price. I've got 2 zones of climate control at the front, a nice flat steering wheel with not too many buttons on it, and it's because some of them, you can see down here, there's a 3rd stalk, and that is for the smart cruise control. The lane departure is up here on the end of the indicator stalk, but this is what this car is going to be used for. It'll be drives through mountain passes of a Sunday afternoon. The ride is gentle, and the cornering is gentle. Everything is gentle. All I can hear is the occasional clunk of the tyre on the tarmac and the of the air conditioning. Now that we've got to 110, I'm going to flick this smart cruise control on, press the button on the end, and it's at 108. Let's bring it up to 110. And of course you need that now to count towards your 5-star safety rating with ANCAP. By far Audi Q8's biggest asset is this road trip that I'm doing now, this mini road trip, is so comfortable. It doesn't let you do anything stupid. If you try and change lanes on someone, it'll try and stop you from doing that. The Audi audio system is beautiful, it's deep and rich. Speakers dotted around the car, there's a subwoofer somewhere or other. I think I saw it in the boot. This does have a 114 kilowatt hour battery. It weighs a lot, and you can feel that in corners. At no stage did I feel like it was going to let go, but I don't think I'd have wanted to have pushed it any harder. So you could, if you want, go for a road trip. Well, I'm getting just under 23 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres. So as I said outside, that's going to give me around 430 kilometres. Electric cars are just the opposite of internal combustion engine cars or ICE powered cars. They do better on highways at a set speed. You can see how lovely the cabin looks. Now there is mood lighting, but when you start the car it comes up red. I love this ceiling. That is just so beautiful. Don't know if you can see that. And they've done that, I assume, to keep you awake. But the thing that I've noticed most about the Audi Q8 is that the inside is impeccable. It's like a beautifully tailored Savile Row suit. Everything is beautiful quality. There's no scratchy plastic. Everything is lovely and soft. In fact, that's very soft. Everything is soft or quality. And this is proper metal trim. I can tell it's really cold. There's soft touch here. And even the glove box, which is hard, is not scratchy. Okay, so let's round up. This is not a cheap car. It's got a massive battery. It weighs a lot. But it is so nice to drive. It is just a breath of fresh air. The ride is sublime. I want to add that I'm not the kind of person that likes to go around every single corner at warp 10. That just is not necessary. I'm much happier just cruising along on a Sunday afternoon, going to wherever it is I'm going to, having a lovely time. This car does that. You can buy your electricity from renewable sources, so you can run this on 0 emissions. And anyone that says otherwise is telling you porkies. Also, the technology to recycle batteries is improving. You'll be able to reuse the battery as it is, perhaps as part of a household system. And that's all this week from the Audi e-tron Q8 55 Quattro. What a name. It is a lovely drive, and I think it's a sign of things to come. I'd like to see it using a little bit less power, but it is a big, heavy car. Anyway, As always, hit like, leave a comment, and above all, over there on the little round thing to subscribe.